Hi, so I've been making these little tarot tales from the tarot table shorts for TikTok about my last tarot reading event that I did this past weekend. So I thought I would do a longer one with some more stories for you for YouTube. Um, the first thing that I want to say about reading for the masses is that it always brings to the forefront of my mind how many seemingly happy-go-lucky people are literally carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, or how many smiling couples have like these tremendous barriers in their relationship that they're trying to overcome. It just reinstates the fact that we all wear these masks. And so I always value those reminders that I get when I do these events. I do get a lot of people that ask me if I do tarot readings online, and I don't. The reason being is that I pick up on people's energies sitting across from somebody. I'll get like random words. Sometimes I'll get images. It's really important that I'm in the presence of the person that I'm reading for. I just can't do that online. It's just not possible for me. So in reference to that, I had this guy sit across from me, and I don't get a lot of like health readings. I don't know if that's just not something that I pick up on a whole lot, or maybe I just haven't read for a lot of people who that's like a serious thing in their life, or that my cards want to talk about. But this guy sat across from me. He was a young guy, fit guy, which is why I was so apprehensive to say anything. Like it didn't make sense. But I kept wanting to say cholesterol. It was almost, when you do these weird psychic things, like tarot, like these random words come into your mind. And it's not like I was thinking about cholesterol or anything. It literally just comes into your head. It feels like something foreign has been placed in your mind, not by you. It's so weird to describe. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm sorry, have you been to the doctor recently? And he's like, not for like a year. And I said, I really feel a very strong impulse to tell you that you need to check like cholesterol and blood pressure. And the minute I said cholesterol, I thought his girlfriend was just gonna pass out from the seat. And she's like, I told you it was bad. And he was like, it wasn't that bad. So that was a really cool experience for me. Another really fun experience was this lady sat across from me and was pulling lots of pentacles in her spread. And I pulled the Magician reversed, which for you tarot readers, can be a sign of, trickery, manipulation. As I'm piecing everything together, I just get this incredibly strong impulse to ask her, like, she has a business. Like, I just knew, like, do you have a business? You have employees? And I just felt like an employee was stealing from her. And the minute I said that, she said yes. And I said, I really get the indicator that you may have an employee stealing from you. And she immediately said, oh my God, I already know who it is. I was just talking with my husband about that this morning, that I really think that this person could be stealing. And I said, based on what the tarot said, they absolutely are. And I got another indicator within the spread that this person had a fear of not being paid by her. And she said, I know what this is about. And anyways, there was a whole backstory to this where this employee had felt like she hadn't been paid what they had originally agreed to, which is what caused her to steal. Why she is now stealing money is because in her mind, she feels like she was stolen from. So I was glad to be able to give this woman an indicator as to the motive of the theft, because it wasn't like she truly felt like she was just in her actions. And that's where the reading got so hard for me, because I'm like, this didn't feel like a typical reverse magician. It felt like somebody trying to seek justice for a wrong done to them. So that was difficult, but I was glad I got to work through that. Another one that I wanted to talk about is, which I talked about on my TikTok, was there was an older woman whose spread very much predicted a physical death of herself. I have not stopped thinking about this woman. Her image is burned into my brain. I keep checking the obituaries, even though this was just this past weekend. Like, I doubt there would be an obituary. I am that, like, I was so torn in this moment when this has only ever happened to me really once before. I've only pulled what I consider to be a physical death in my spread twice. But one of those times was talking about a death that had already occurred, not like a predicting death. And I've been doing this since I was about 11 or 12. So we're talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of spreads, and this has never been an issue. And this woman, I just knew it. It's her. She's going to die. And her daughter was there. And it's like, they're at this event to have fun. They're at this event to feel good. And I didn't want to take it from her. And then it's like, what do you do with that? Like, you're going to die either way. I tell you you're going to die. Like, what do you do with that? Stop leaving the house? Like, you can't escape death. It's literally like Final Destination. I am 1,000% certain of it. It chases those who try to thwart it. And I just, but then I'm just ridden with guilt because I'm like, I am your reader. And I know, and I didn't tell you. And, you know, I had tons of infidelity readings this past weekend. You know, abusive relationships, female being abused by a male that was literally crouching over her at my table. And the reading was about him, and I couldn't tell her, like, this person behind you is ruining your life. And he is the Emperor reversed. He is the abuser in your life, and he's keeping you from living your best life. And you have that capability. And that was hard for me. I watched this poor guy be verbally abused by his girlfriend before approaching my table. And the spread was all about her. I mean, the words going off. Whoever he has on the other side is very upset by her. Didn't like her at all. And even I felt like some of her people on the other side were very, I don't know, she feels very torn. She was very complex energy. At that table. She was also pregnant, which I feel, you know, always, you know, muddles up their energy because they're not their normal self. Obviously, they're in the process of making human life. They're under additional stresses and all sorts of chemical changes in their bodies, and their energy is just kind of crazy. But this poor guy, I mean, even as I'm trying to hint to this woman in his life being very much a queen of swords, and not the good kind. He knew who I was talking about, and I think she knew who I was talking about, but it's almost like she was angry at him for what I was saying. And again, just that abusive relationship that I have playing out in front of me. But when you do events like this, y'all guys have to know, like, if you get a tarot reading done, please be nice to your tarot reader and treat them like you would a cashier that you know is being abused. Like, not by your clients that are sitting, but by the energies that are just like, like it is so emotional to be a tarot reader, guys. It's so emotional. Okay, I've been rambling for a while, so I just wanted to make this video because people were very interested in these stories, so I thought I would share some more with you guys. Okay, I will talk to you soon. Bye.